Can you hear me? Hello? Can everybody hear? I don't know. Am I going to hear them?
Go ahead, Grant Ramey and Mike Wilson.
Hello? Can you guys hear?
Hey, Coach, I got you. Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good,
Okay.
Coach.
Who you got?
We'll go Grant Ramey and then Mike Wilson, please.
Who's got a question? Start asking.
Rick, what happened in the final, 10 minutes of the first half after you guys looked like had a pretty good start and then Colorado went zone and kind of messed you guys up a little bit?
I thought that once we were trying to figure out some substitution patterns, which we knew going into the game tonight, it was the first time we've had our team on the same bench, and we talked about it long and hard, trying to figure out what would be the best way to do it, to give every guy a chance to play well when he went out there. And we definitely lost some of our rhythm. We started having some defensive breakdowns where when we were in some switching situations on the other end, and we turned the ball over a little bit, trying to do too much, I thought. They went zone, and I don't think Tad, that's what he wants to do, but he was going to stay in it until we heard it, and we never really did. And, we wanted to get the ball in the middle of that, what we've always done with it. And I thought once we started missing those shots, we had guys that were really hesitant to shoot the shots that we need to take. And I thought it affected us on the defensive end a little bit too, where we got back on our heels. But, they're going to make a run. They're too good a team. And we came out and we got our transition game going. We were running. We were doing a lot of good things. But once we, again, started our substitute pattern that we have not had one bit of practice doing, I thought that caught up with us. And then to take nothing away from them at all, because I thought it was really a smart move on him to go zone, because we haven't had enough days since we were shut down to spend as much time on our zone offense as we had previously before we got shut down ourselves. And we just weren't sharp there, got very hesitant. And that's something I'm not really concerned about. My biggest concern still would be the fact that we didn't rebound the ball the way we have to be the team we want to be. And that's probably the biggest disappointment, just we didn't rebound the ball the way we need to.
Mike Wilson, then Rob Lewis.
Rick, what did you like about what you had defensively tonight? I guess especially it seemed like Jaden and Keon had some good defensive moments in the second half.
Well, Mike, you're right. That's what they do. I've said to you, they really are good at ball hawking. They will get in there and, we talk about tackling the ball and getting that guy in your grasp and trying to take the ball away from him. And both of those guys have that ability. I thought Jaden was good. He missed Friday's workout and not feeling well. And then he came back, and I thought he really impacted the game. Both of them made one big mistake that they've got to get out of when they turned the ball over. They went up to try to get it back and let the ball get behind them, and both times we gave up baskets there. But I thought defensively they can do that, and that's where we think they can help us. But I think between them they had, if I'm not mistaken, let me make sure, they had 7 turnovers. 7 of the half of our turnovers, and 5 of them were Jaden, and 2 of them were, 5 of them was Keon, 2 of them was Jaden. But that's the biggest thing we try to talk to them in practice. They're both too good of an offensive player to continue to turn the ball over the way they do. And but defensively, and again, I thought Jaden was good. Keon had his moments too, but then he had some pretty bad moments where he turned it over, then he panicked and threw it away again. But those guys will be fine because they're competitive, and they just need, and I've said it to you guys the other day, those guys have been hurt from the shutdown more than anybody. They were getting in a pretty good groove. Then they missed 2 weeks, and they were just affected by it probably more than anybody.
Do you still expect, to have a fluctuating starting lineup potentially? I know VJ was in there tonight, but is this a lineup that could have a lot of different looks throughout the year?
Yeah, Mike, I think we're still trying to figure out the best way to get a rotation going with our team. That's what we got to figure out. And I was really proud of BJ because he's has always been more of an offensive-minded player, offense first. I thought he came out and did a really nice job to start the game on McKinley Wright, who's arguably one of the best players in the Pac-12 and one of the best players in the country. But I thought VJ set a really good tone for our team and making them work, and got it going offensively a little bit. I look at it, I mean, I knew that because of Colorado and the respect we have for them, that we'd have to play some guys some heavy minutes, because it's right now what you don't want to do is let those young guys get out there and make so many mistakes that it just lingers in their mind for a long time. And so we're trying to let them stay out as long as we could, but then you start seeing the patterns that develop in practice, and you got to get them out. But yeah, I could see the lineup staying like this for a while, or changing it. Just again, we've got to figure out our pattern, and we don't have it yet. I can tell you that we don't have it figured out yet.
Coach, you're kind of touching on what I want to ask you, but you had 4 guys play 30 minutes. 30 minutes or more. Do you anticipate that going down with the depth that you have, and as the young kids get more acclimated?
Yes, I do. There's no doubt we expect it to go down. We don't want anybody really above 32, but we felt tonight with Colorado they were going to force us to play guys, that experienced guys, minutes, big minutes, because we felt it was going to be a really close game as it was. And we knew even when we jumped up on them early, we knew they would make a run to get back in it, and they did. But then when it's not fair to put those young guys out there in some tight situations early in the year, because like I said, you don't want to lose them. You don't want to lose them with their confidence, and the mistakes they made tonight, I think we'll be able to look at it and learn from it. But yeah, Rob, we need to get those minutes down. Polky, again, he had not practiced since Friday, so I wasn't surprised that he wouldn't be very good. I kept telling the coaches, and they said, well, I hope you're wrong. I do think he responded at the end of the game. He came up with a couple plays. Eve struggled. He's a senior. He shouldn't ever be tentative out there shooting the ball, and he was a few times, but rebounding the ball, just great job rebounding the ball. EJ Anasicki, I thought for the first time out, did some really good things. He was shooting the ball in an area that we don't want the elbow jumper. We want to be inside around the SEC, and he just wasn't aware of where he was on the court attacking against the zone. But yeah, we want to use our depth, and I hope this is a game. Again, it was going to be tough, and we knew it, and we felt like we'd love to be able to, play some guys more minutes, and but going forward, we hope to do that.
Nicholas Hill, then Wes Rucker.
Coach, tonight, obviously, with this being the season opener for the first time in front of only 3,000 instead of 20,000, do you think that had an effect at all, considering that just how different the environment is here at TBA this season?
Well, I do think it affects the guys that have been here before, understanding what Thompson Bowling Arena is like if you bring a team like Colorado, and it would have been a packed house. And but the fact that we've been able to practice down here a little bit more, we've tried to do that because and I thought they did a nice job with the crowd noise tonight. I didn't think it was overbearing. I didn't think it was a major, I think it was what it had to be. And I appreciate the fans that were here, and it is what it is right now. And but I thought our guys, again, they get out there and they start playing. People would probably be surprised that even when the building is sold out and it's crazy in there, what goes on between that line, sometimes we're all oblivious to it until, there's certain times, obviously, you feed off the crowd and you do that, but we'll learn a lot from this. And it was different. It's definitely different. I can tell you, it's a much different feeling. I mean, you think about it, it's December or whatever, and we're just now playing our first game. And I don't think any of us knew exactly what it was going to be like, other than we've talked about it. They've seen enough games on TV to see some of it at other places, but it's definitely a different feeling. And that's why I'm just glad that we're going to be able to get some games going, hopefully from here on out.
Rick, when you I guess look at Eve Pons and some of those looks he got tonight, those are looks that a lot of times he makes, those kind of pull ups and right there around 8-10 feet. But when they're not going down like that, how much emphasis could there be for him to just keep going and go to the rim? I'm not sure how many guys could stop him from doing that.
Well, you know what, Wes, we talked to him a lot about that. I think that's where he's got to have that feel to know, but they were going to let us catch it there and shoot it. And we spend a lot of time in that area. I would almost venture to say as much as anybody in the country in that 8-10 foot range area there. And, we tell them, if you go look for trouble, you're going to find it. And if you're open, and we just said, hey, just shoot the ball like you mean it. There's no reason to hesitate. We needed to get a little more rebounding out of it. But again, if anybody to blame for that is me, because, we worked on a lot of things. We had 2 days prep to get ready for these guys. And we did hit the zone because we felt like it's something that they could throw at us, knowing that, hey, we had to get a lot of things going back to get ready to play. And even though we know that Tad's not normally a zone coach, and we know what he prides himself in, but we'll be better against it. I really think that when we had a couple good plays, but when we got back control of the game, it was with our defense, and we got out in transition and got more of an attack type mentality. And we need to continue that when we get to the benches and guys come in. We got to get some of these guys were tentative, which you would expect, but we got to get through that.
Ben McKee and Vince Ferrara.
Coach, what did you think of the defensive performance for you guys tonight, and how much did Kim English scouting Colorado as a former Colorado assistant help you all tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, whether Kim was there or whatever, I mean, they had us scouted well. They knew what we wanted to do. They had us scouted well. Kim knows what they were doing, but he would have been able to do that whether he was with them or not. I mean, they, like I said, I thought they did a nice job scouting us too. And but Kim was, it was first of all, it was important. I think his relationship really got the game on, to be quite honest with you. We were, I can't even begin to tell you what Mike Schwartz and Reed Sigmund have done to try to get a schedule. I mean, constantly still talking, still trying to find a game that we can fit in at some point in time. So we can at least get to 25. And but Kim did a nice job. And I've said before, I don't think there's a better coaching staff in the country in terms of game preparation, getting guys understanding what we need to do to win. And he knows those guys. He's still very close to that staff. He's got a great relationship with all of them. And I respect them as much as anybody, because I understand I know how Tad does things, and we need more guys in college basketball with Tad Boyle type character.
Rick, first time with the layout, with the bench the way it was, anything from an administrative standpoint with the way the bench was laid out, or any observation with your guys and how engaged they were as a team, anything from that standpoint on your spot?
Yeah, we got on our bench during one of the timeouts because we felt like when they made their run to get back in it, we were dead as a bench, and it's different, but still they should be very vocal. They've got to be in it, doing what they need to do. And but again, it's like I said, it's the first time that we've been together on the same benches around the court. I mean, it's different. It really is, because we're trying to move people around during timeout, so guys aren't sitting beside each other. Guys, we're conscientious. I'm not, obviously, but people are. They're working it, trying to tell this guy sit here, this guy there, and so it's different. It really is. It's just the timeouts were okay, because that's kind of how we normally would do it. But the bench itself, it's just different. And like I said, that's the first time we've done it. We had scrimmages, but we've had both ends. We worked both ends and separated them. But I mean, to think about it, I'm looking around trying to yell at guys to get in the game, and I look up and Urosh is sitting on the baseline, and I'm like, you better get there and take your sweats off when you get there. Yet Jaden, he was trying to take his sweats off, but he's going to have to run over there. So those are some things we'll have to talk about. We're going to have to make sure they get to the table first, and then worry about because the building's a little bit different. It's probably not as warm. Doesn't get it like as hot as normally because of more people in there, But the benches, I'm going to have to get used to that too, because I was looking around and trying to see guys, and I wasn't sure where they were.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. That's you, Tom. We're good?
We're good. We're going to have VJ Bailey up next.
Is that you before you got your beard dyed, or is that live, or is that a picture?
That's
I can't
right
tell.
after a good die.
Okay.